Friends and family, Valve is banning blockchain games, taking them off the store. Get out of here. Blockchain, cryptocurrency, NFTs. If it's on Steam, it's not on Steam. Not now, gone, goodbye, and not ever. Apparently, I mean, we'll see what the future has in store for us, for Steam, but it looks like Epic actually is going to try to make it work. Epic, heard Valve doing this, is like, nah, you know what? Actually, we're the cool guys. You should come and play Epic Games, man. We'll try to make it work. Put your game on Epic Game Store. So whatever. I don't know anything about nothing about that, but what I will say is that Valve banning it, you know what? I'm in favor of it, and I want to talk about it. So, yeah, basically, if you guys don't know, blockchain games are games where, or cryptocurrency, NFT type of games. If you don't know anything about cryptocurrency, basically, it's like a system, magical whoop-de-doo. I'm going to just be so light, because I'm pretty sure you know what I'm talking about. They just basically have these systems in place so that you, as a person, can own, as an individual, the digital content inside of a game or software, or just, even a piece of art. That's a big thing with NFTs, NFT art. So you can literally prove that you own digital content, where otherwise maybe like for land you would have a claim or something like that, or you would literally physically own something, you'd have a receipt. It's kind of like that. It's like a digital receipt to digitally but really own something. Now there's actually been a few real money MMOs or games that have been out for a really long time, or there's been ways to kind of get around that, or like the skin systems and even Valve's own marketplace. The whole trading scene, that kind of in a way is sort of similar. But because of cryptocurrency, it gives you a very legitimate claim to everything. It's much harder to steal and revoke access to it. If not, some people would say impossible. So it just gives a little bit more validity to the ownership of the content in the game. However, I would like to contest that later on in the rant. But Valve banning this basically is coming from a place of, we can't curate this whatsoever. Also, they're not making money from it exactly, but they can't exactly follow, I think, laws that would be put in place. Because if you look at these games, because they are games, and then you have, these transactions, these real money transactions that have, you own content in the game that has real world value, it kind of becomes awkward. It really could just blend into gambling. I think most of the times, almost every time, it becomes pay to win, and it kind of results in really a gambling atmosphere. And in fact, if you look at the trailers, the advertisements, the promotions, and how the community is receiving all of these games, every single one of them promotes the investing attitude. It has like this vibe of really being about the money, being about the cryptocurrency content, being about everything else other than the actual gameplay. So it doesn't seem like a way to actually enhance gameplay. It seems more like these games are being built around a way to make money and a way to actually manipulate people's weaknesses, I would actually say. Just like gacha games or card collecting games with the random card packs, the loot boxes and stuff like that. It's just another FOMO sort of thing that also is playing into the whole investing craze and the cryptocurrency craze. Basically, it's a bunch of games that are hopping on trends. They have lofty ideas, and maybe the developers themselves are excited about the technology and developing this technology and promoting it. But in the end, in terms of gameplay and the purity of that, no, it's completely perverted. Just look at the trailers. No, it's not going to work out. These games, absolutely not. I completely disagree with what these games are trying to do. Even if some of the technology and some of the concepts are exciting, no, I'm totally on Team Steam here when it comes to taking them off, because honestly, I wish there was deeper, more severe curation on Steam, because there's a lot of garbage, there's a lot of trash, there's a lot of blatantly pay-to-win games, there's a lot of games that have like a lot of gambling and loot box systems, and including actually Steam's own games. And in fact, some people would say, well, Valve kind of, they have loot boxes and stuff like that reward items that are digital that have real money value. Though all that stays on the Steam ecosystem, but then again, you could sell your Steam account, and I don't know, that breaks terms of service, but whatever. In the end, all of that stuff is still technically cosmetic. However, since the point of all of these other games are heavily focusing and built literally around the gimmick of the, microtransactions with the blockchain systems, the NFTs and stuff like that, they're more often pay to win, if not always pay to win. And in the end, they're just not, I just don't think they're going to be good games. I don't think they're really worth the while. But I don't know. I think it could work. I think it could work, but I'm going to say this first wave that's just getting slammed on the Steam store, I totally get why Valve wants to take it slow. And in fact, actually Epic, even though despite their statement saying that they're going to try to make it work, I have a feeling that they're also going to take it slow, and they're going to have their hands real deep in all these games, making sure that all the systems tie back into the Epic Game Store, that they're getting their cut of money, and that in the end they're not breaking any laws, what have you. But that amount of curation for the wave of games coming out is going to be really hard to just allow be published on Steam. That's all I'm gonna say. Could it work? I would love if it could. I would love to actually own my account. Maybe that would give me a little bit of security with my account. I've had my WoW account, hacked. I've had RuneScape account hacked. That really sucked. I don't want to be hacked anymore, and I would love to own my content. But I gotta say something. There's a reason why a lot of games really don't allow for save editors, even though there is no microtransactions or anything like that. There is this concept of purity and balance within a game. There's this ecosystem of players, and you really want them to earn it, to play it, to enjoy the game as it was designed. In an online experience, if you just had everyone constantly invading you with max stats and backstabbing you and one-shotting you instantaneously, it becomes a little unfun, right? So save editors and things like that are really frowned upon, or like straight up not. It's like illegal, kind of against the terms of service in a lot of these games. But especially in MMOs and things like that, you have a true, actual, like legitimate ecosystem with the gold. You need gold sinks, time investments. There's a sort of balance to how the whole world is kind of designed to live and breathe that, these blockchain games, these metaverses, they completely pervert that experience. And even though some people would say you can't buy power, oh, you're not getting plus damage or whatever, you're just buying real estate. If the whole game is literally about real estate and owning as much as you possibly can, then it's pay to win. Everyone has different win conditions, and if you can win in some way by spending money, dude, it's pay to win. I don't care if you can't do more damage than another player. There are other ways to win a meta and, living, breathing world such as an MMO. You can win however you want, basically. So yeah, I do think that there should be more severe punishments or, stricter requirements when it comes to these game stores, like for games like Black Desert Online even, and maybe even Valve themselves should be a little bit more stricter with their content. Sure, absolutely. But especially when it comes to these blockchain games, we need to take a much closer look. And I'm even just kind of giving a vague overview, but I did recently talk about Ember Sword and maybe I really haven't wanted to talk about too many because they're all garbage, but all of these games, what I'm going to tell you, because I play so many games, I've done this for 10 years professionally, I've seen a lot of these games come and go and be advertised. I am telling you right now, regardless of whatever deep research you've done, immediately and instantaneously, these games, whatever you think they are about, they are overwhelmingly focused on making money through perverting the gameplay systems with the blockchain technology. And regardless, actually, if it is just a normal game that just happens to have a blockchain element to it, I don't actually see a point in that. To end cap the video, because they're using their own proprietary kind of like cryptocurrency, like they're using their own currencies, like their own gems or whatever they're going to call it, their own coins. And you earn it in-game through doing in-game stuff or spending money, but like it could just go into a void. Like you could lose everything. The idea of blockchain or Bitcoin or whatever is that you can't lose it, that it is this, ethereal thing that it's always going to be useful or valuable in some way to somebody somewhere. But when these games exist, they aren't existing as a currency, an outside world currency. I guess you could translate it. Of course, you could make money from it. But if the game shut down and if the game servers shut down, then it is worthless. It's over, there's no point at all. I guess you could cash out and that's it. Casino's closed, boys. But that's pretty much all it is. These games, metaverse games, are blow up casinos. Actually just yesterday they had this blow up theme park, we did the inflatable castles and stuff like that, right? And inflatable Ninja Warrior courses. You ever do those as a kid, or, you can actually do them as an adult? There's some really cool stuff, these blow up little, little playgrounds. That's what these games are, except they're blow up inflatable casinos. And then that's it. They're going to pop and then it's over. And then the entire gimmick is pointless. And they kind of took your money, and maybe somebody made some money, but it feels very, pyramid schemey. It just feels really shitty. And in the end, are they making the games better? Are they? I think they have the potential to be, but I think this is a new technology, and I think these kind of games are an entirely new concept, And I really doubt that these games that are just getting absolutely fucking shoveled on the Steam store, or they were, I really doubt that they were anything worth looking at, which is why I haven't talked about them. Even though I talk about unique online experiences that you can play with your friends and, you know, have interesting social experiences, nah, man, I really didn't feel like talking about these games. Maybe I will a little bit more because they're pretty controversial and hype, but in the end, Valve banning blockchain games and NFTs on Steam, you know what? Yeah, I'm Team Steam. And Epic trying to make it work. If you do, definitely go slow. Go slow and steady, and maybe we'll see if the race is even worth participating in. But I think it's going to be a long time before we see any of this really come out like as a good game, any good games, any good fair systems, or anything really worth the while. And I think it's going to take a while to see that. Anyways, that's really much all I got to say on that. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. And is there any blockchain game that you're actually excited for? How and why and stuff and things? Yeah, much love though. I'll see you in the next one.